Righty. Alrighty. I'm here. So, good afternoon to everyone out there. This is your girl Tiffany coming through here live in effect. Thank you guys for coming through. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, share my channel, like the channel, all that great stuff. All right. So, if you guys give me a moment, please. Let me just make sure everything's good on my end. All right, sorry about that. I had to check and make sure everything is all right. So once again, peace and greetings to everybody. Thank y'all for coming through. Shout out to Brother Omi. Shout out to Brother Centavo. Thank y'all for coming through here. So today's topic, right, is going to be about a lady named Marion Stamps, and she was a community activist within the Chicago area. So this video, right. This video is going to put focus on community activism, okay? And I've been doing series on psychiatrists and psychologists, okay? They were all unsung, meaning that they have not gained their recognition, their proper credits, or their respect, etc. And so this lady happened to be one of the ladies that was a community activist in the local Chicago area. She was standing up for public housing, okay? And she was also at one point in time active member of the Black Panther Party. So the woman that I'm talking about, her name is Marion Nzinga Stamps. All right, Marion Nzinga Stamps. So like I said, you guys make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the channel, share the channel, all that great stuff. All right, so I was able to pull up some information about Miss Marion. And I came across a video where she did an interview, which I'm going to play. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share the information with you guys. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see that. Cool. All right, so according to the information here, and as you can see, that's the picture of her. Okay. So Marion Nzinga Stamps, right, who was born as M. Marion Adams. All right, she was born on May 28th of 1945, and she passed away on August 28th of 1996. All right, she was a community activist who fought for equal rights of public housing residents in Carberny Green Housing Project on the near north side of Chicago, Illinois. She helped to elect Chicago's first African-American mayor, Harold Washington, by organizing a massive voter registration drive in 1983. She was aggressive in her fights to make sure that residents of housing developments had voices regarding their violence and harsh living condition in public housing. All right, so in 1993, Stamps began working with many gang leaders throughout Chicago to help end growing violence. In 1994, she and others successfully navigated what remains the only citywide gang truce in Chicago's history. Okay. So that's her biography. So she was born in Jackson, Mississippi. Now, as you guys know about the Great Migration, a lot of people that went to Chicago or the Midwest region, they came up out of Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas, Alabama, places like that. Okay, many of them came up, but most of all it was Mississippi. A lot of them came up out of Mississippi and went over to the Midwest. A lot of them did, because at that time Mississippi really had it rough. You know what I mean? With the racial discrimination, people getting lynched and all that, and then the lack of job opportunity. Mississippi happened to be one of the poorest states in the United States. Okay, one of the most poor states. But let's continue. So she was born in Jackson, Mississippi. Stamps became involved with the civil rights movement at the age of 13 under the guidance and direction of her former neighbor, famed civil rights activist Medgar Evers. Their goal was to help integrate the adjacent public library. Through this fight, she was able to gain insight and mentoring from civil rights activist and gospel singer Mahalia Jackson. So she moved to Chicago in 1963 and quickly became involved in the local civil rights movement. She moved to the Cabarney Green Housing Project at 1230 North Berlin Avenue, where she began fighting for better living conditions and many other issues faced by Cabarney residents. Excuse me. All right. So right here where it says Chicago Housing Tenants Organization, as there were considerably subpar living conditions, a group of tenants, including Stamps, founded the Chicago Housing Tenant Organization. The Chicago Housing Tenant Organization fought the housing department addressing major issues with buildings. Stamps' work extended to housing issues throughout the city. In the 1980s, Stamps' work in collaboration with other housing organizations became nationwide, and eventually she played a significant role in the first and only successful nationwide rent strike against HUD. All right. So, Black Panther Party and volunteer work. Her work caught the eye of many powerful civil rights activists. She teamed up with William Darden and his West Side organization, helping to organize and galvanize many during Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s stay in Chicago. More radical than most, Stamps became a member of the Black Panther Party, working alongside Fred Hampton and Mark Clark on the north side of Chicago. Stamps became associated with the party's work with the Rainbow Coalition, a group that included the Young Patriots and Young Lords. She temporarily served as a volunteer worker for Illinois' U.S. Representative Curtis Collins during her campaign in 1978. Then it goes down to say, Tranquility Marksmen Memorial Organization, along with several other women, Stamps helped establish and organize the Tranquility Marksmen Memorial Organization, which had evolved from the CHTO and was named in the honor of late activist Tranquility Phillips and Professor Edwin Marksman. Marksman, a professor at the University of Illinois at Chicago Jane Addams School of Social Work, was murdered in 1981. Although some claim that Stamps believed that Marksman was murdered by Chicago police officers for the work that he and his students were doing on police brutality in Chicago involving former Chicago police commander John Burge. Marksman's death announcement in Jet magazine stated that he was stabbed during a mugging. All right. So let's go ahead. It says disputes with Chicago mayors. So Stamps' confrontational actions often anger Chicago mayors. Stamps helped organize a boycott of 1982 and 1983 Chicago Fest events, which were created by Chicago Mayor Michael Blandick in 1978 when Chicago Mayor James Byrne moved into Cabarney Green Project for 30 days. In March of 1981, with the stated intention of improving conditions, Stamps and a group of residents called the mayor leaving the development each evening, revealing that she had never stayed overnight. Byrne entered the stay at Cabarney after an Easter celebration on April 18th of 1981. In 1983, Stamps angered newly elected mayor Harold Washington when she attempted to organize a rent strike with other Chicago Housing Authority residents over complaints of poor maintenance. Stamps and Washington resolved the matter and had a strong relationship until Washington died in 1987. All right, so let's look on the where it says collaboration or redevelopment of Cabarney. So in the months before her death, Stamps changed her opposition of redevelopment effort at Cabrini. She worked with tenants during the process and began a successful collaboration with tenants from the Cabrini buildings located at 1150 North Sedgwick Avenue, 1160 North Sedgwick Avenue, 500 West Oak Street, 502 West Oak Street, 1157 North Cleveland Avenue, and 1159 North Cleveland Avenue. During the process, Stamps worked to secure Hope 9 funding for residents who were transitioning from public housing. All right, so it talks about the election. So in 1995, she ran for alderman of Chicago's 27th ward, but lost to Walter Burnett Jr. It was one of the most expensive aldermanic elections in Chicago. After the election, Stamps planned to move back to Jackson, Mississippi to assist with the care of her ailing father. Okay, well, so where's alderman? So alderman is a member of a municipal assembly or council in many jurisdictions founded upon English law. The term may be tutelar, denoting a high-ranking member of a borough or county council, a council member chosen by the elected members themselves rather than by popular vote, or a council member elected by voters. Okay. And so, she was born with a heart condition that worsened until she died in her sleep on August 28, 1996. She was the mother of 5 daughters, all of whom became active as teachers, youth program directors, youth programming, and in juvenile justice in impoverished neighborhoods. Her youngest daughter became director of the Marion and Nzinga Stamps Youth Center in the Near North neighborhood. All right, so that's the story about Marion and Nzinga Stamps. Okay. So as you can see, this woman has done many works, and many don't know about her. So it's many folks out there that have done many works with people that is very noble. So she happened to be the one to organize protests, right, rallies about the rent and poor housing condition, and also working alongside with Fred Hampton and the Black Panther Party. And as a matter of fact, she was a member of the Black Panther Party at one point. And she also helped to elect the first Black mayor of Chicago, which is Harold Washington. Okay. So this woman was very vocal in what she was doing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to check my sound real quick, then I'm going to come back. All right. So what I am going to do here is so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play the interview clip that she did, okay, before she passed away. So I was watching some of the video clips, so I'm gonna play like maybe a good I might play like a good 5 minutes of it, 5 or 6 minutes. All right, so she talked about her life as an activist and how she got involved, etc. So let me go ahead and play a disclaimer. I got to put up this copyright disclaimer because let's see there. All right, so copyright disclaimer. All right, the copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976 allowance made for fair use for purpose such as criticism, comments, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing nonprofit, educational, or personal use to the balance in favor of fair use. So basically, the whole purpose of this video is to bring about a fair use of education, not to profiting. So that's basically showing that I do not own the right to this video, okay? I do not own the right to this interview clip. I'm just basically showing it for educational purpose on my channel. All right, on the Tiffany French channel. That's what I'm doing. All right, so I want to put that out there and I want to let it be known. But, you know, YouTube will still try to hit you with the copyright shit. Because that's what they do. They lame. YouTube is lame as hell for that. But, let me go ahead and play a little clip of this video. All right.
You know, they killing police, you know, the whole thing.
Hold up. Okay. Hey, what's up, Centava? I mean, not Centava. Damn, Vinyasa. What's up, Vinyasa? Peace to you. How you doing? Once again, shout out to everybody in the chat. Thank y'all for coming through. Thank y'all for coming through. Real talk. All right, so I'm about to go ahead and play this video clip where Marion Stamps does her interview. All right, so this comes from repulsory.wustl.edu. All right. So that come from Washington University and St. Louis University Libraries. All right. So this is the interview that she done. Okay. So let me go ahead and play it.
Thing that's a game, you know, the whole bit that the public thought the party was all about. My experience with the party was very, very positive. I know had it not been me being able to be in the same room with Fred Hampton and gain the knowledge that he shared with all of us, I would not be the kind of person I am today. I ran the food program, the breakfast program on the north side for the party. Have to get up every morning at 6 o'clock. Fred Hampton didn't want you to give kids powdered eggs. So you had to make sure that you had real eggs, real grits, real everything, okay? But that experience and dealing with those young children at that time in the morning made us all feel better and the children feel better because we knew that those children went to school, first of all, full. And secondly, they had already gained some knowledge before they went into that classroom. So it wasn't going to be as easy to miseducate those children as it would have had they not come to the program. And I think that if we would just look at today, what is happening, if it had not been for the party, we would not have free health care. If it had not been for the party, we would not have free breakfast programs. All of that came out of the Black Panther Party.
Was your mother's reaction to Hampton, the party, fairly typical for the Black community?
Yeah. Many Black people initially was very, very afraid of the Black Panther Party because see, you got to understand that before the party came on the set, most of us was into a nonviolent Dr. King, Whitney Young kind of framework of reference in terms of our Blackness. But then here you found some brothers and sisters saying, first, you know, look, the United States Constitution guarantees us the right to bear arms and to protect ourselves. And we understand that we need protection in the Black community. And it's our responsibility to protect Black women and Black children, not the police, because the police is not here to serve and protect us, only to continue to enslave us. It is our responsibility to see to it that our people have a decent place to live, decent food to eat, and quality health care, not the system. So that frightened a lot of people. I mean, they didn't think that it could happen. They didn't think that it was right. They didn't believe that this is what democracy was all about. But in fact, the Black Panther Party practiced democracy in the American way better than the Americans did it. So,
You knew Fred, obviously.
oh, I love Fred Hampton. I mean, I have, there are very few Black men.
Okay, I love Fred Hampton.
I love Fred Hampton. There are about 4 Black men in my lifetime that I can say I truly love. One of them was Professor Ed Marksman, Tranquility Phillip, Fred Hampton, and my daddy. And in that order. You know, I think that Fred Hampton represents the epitome of Black manhood because, first of all, he had so much respect for Black women and Black children. I mean, this was a brother that you just knew from being in the room with him that he loved Black babies. Period. If Fred Hampton was living today, the problems we're having in the Black community, we would not have them. He would not tolerate it. He would not tolerate Black men selling drugs. Fred would not tolerate sisters standing on the corner selling their bodies for a tooth. Okay, we don't, and because he would not have tolerated that, then those of us who were in the party would not tolerate it either. So we lost. I mean, when they murdered Fred Hampton, we lost. And we gotta, and the one thing that we gotta do is that we gotta make sure that we tell the next generation the truth so that they can understand that all of these so-called role models they put in front of our faces, though they are not the ones. It's all right to talk about Air Jordan, but running in the air ain't gonna save us, okay? And even that thing, see, now, white folks are so determined to destroy the next generation. They understand that for the most part, they have already gotten us. Okay. So they're working on the babies, and it's always been that way. Okay. So now they give us phony heroes and phony role models. If a Fred Hampton would emerge right now, it'll throw this country in total chaos. I mean, you got to understand how frightened J. Edgar Hoover, head of the CIA, how frightened he was of Fred. He himself said he was a Black messiah. So if they know, we know. Okay. So I just love Fred Hampton. I love Fred Hampton because of what he was, what he believed in, what he practiced. You wouldn't. I have never seen Fred in contradiction in anything that he believed in. That's real important. I have never seen Fred move in an unprincipled manner. That's real important. I understood clearly Fred had a moral code of conduct by which he moved and operate out of. That is real important. So I feel blessed having been around and fortunate to have been in his presence and to have gained the information and the knowledge that I gained from him. I feel cheated that white folks murdered him. And I'm not gonna ever forget that, and I'm not gonna ever forgive that, because the only thing that Fred was about was power to the people, and we have a right to have that kind of power, So
Okay, so that was the interview that was that Miss Marion and Nzinga stamps done. Okay, so that video looked like it was around the late 80s, early 90s, somewhere like that. Okay, so she did the interview and discussing her life and discussing her works with the Black Panther Party, and again why she was involved in activism. All right, so if you guys want to check out more about this video, let me go ahead and zoom it out.
we struggle through it, we'll survive it, but we can't never forget that.
Okay, So if you guys want to check out more videos regard to this interview, just go on this website right here, which is Washington University in St. Louis University Libraries, okay? And it says interview with Marion Stamps. That's where you want to go to. You want to go to that website, all right? And also, I have a book that deals with the related topic that you guys should be able to check out. All right, so this book right here is called Chicago on the Make, Power and Inequality in a Modern City by Andrew J. Diamond. All right, look up this book, Chicago on the Make, Power and Inequality in a Modern City by Andrew J. Diamond. All right, so let's see what the contents are. So let me look at the copyright. The book came out in 2017. And let's look at the table of contents. All right, so you got the introduction. Chapter 1 deals with the capital order, Black metropolis. Chapter 3 is white and black. And Chapter 4 is the boss and the black belt. Chapter 5 is civil rights in the multiracial city. And Chapter 6 is violence in the global city. And Chapter 7 is a city of two tales. And you know, you got the epilogue. All right, so yeah, if you guys want to check out this book, you guys can do so. All right, so that's the map of Chicago. Again, the name of it is Chicago on the Make, Power and Inequality in a Modern City by Andrew J. Diamond. So make sure you guys check this book out. All right. And in this book, as I was looking at the preview, it mentioned Marion and Nzinga in it. So if you guys are interested, you guys can read more into it. All right. So I just want to talk real brief before I close it out. You know, Chicago is a very interesting city. It's been a lot of things that's been happening. Let me see. Let me read the comments. All right, someone put, you should read a book about all the black on black crime in Chicago. Okay, so give me a title of the book that deals with the subject about the black on black crime in Chicago, because I'm quite sure I can find a list of books that talks about that subject matter. So you got to be more specific as far as like what subject or what's the name of the book that mostly touch on this subject that really tackles the issue. So if you can give me the name of the book and the name of the author, then I'll be able to look it up. All right. Okay. So yes, I just want to say this. Chicago is a very interesting city. I've never been to Chicago, but just hearing stories about it, it has a lot of historical events to it. You know, from being known as a mob town, a lot of black activism. Okay. You know, known for the Black Panther Party, especially out there. The music, the violence, drill music. Chicago is very interesting. And there is still the ongoing increase of violence as of today. And then also the founder of Chicago, who happened to be a Haitian man that came up out of the Missouri area. All right. So, as a matter of fact, let me look his name up, because I be forgetting people's name. Let me look him up. Founder of Chicago. Jean-Baptiste Point du Sable. Jean-Baptiste Point du Sable, the founder of Chicago, a black man from the Missouri area who happened to be of Haitian descent, founded the city. I mean, Chicago has an interesting history in it, and it's just very intriguing to me. It's very intriguing. I mean, you have a lot of people, a lot of activists coming up out the city. A lot of work that's been done. You got the Trinity Church of God, which is a Pan-African like church. It's Pan-African. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it runs like a regular black church would do every Sunday, etc. But they're very Pan-Africanist. I mean, Chicago seems to be interesting. It seems like a place that I would like to go and visit, but I'll just have to be careful of what areas not to go to. You know what I'm saying? What areas not to go to, what areas to stay away from. But it will be, but outside of that, it will be a very interesting city. A very interesting city. To go visit. Just to go look at monuments. As a matter of fact, and then University of Chicago out there. All right, and they got museums up there too. So I think they got the African American Museum up there in Chicago area. All kinds of stuff. So it's like that would be the most interesting city to go and visit, just to like learn about historical events that had happened in that area. But yeah, Robert Abbott. Let's see. BBO put Robert Abbott, the Defender newspaper. Yes, a lot of things. You know, and not only Chicago is interesting, Detroit has a lot of interesting history. When it comes to black history, Detroit has a lot of interesting history. New York, of course, Atlanta do. Oakland, Washington, New Orleans, you name them. They all got very great, interesting history when it comes to black history. You know, but I mean, I hate to see the state of where Chicago is today as far as the crime rate is concerned, because that city has such a rich history, a rich background. And, you know, Marva Collins was a substitute teacher, but she started her own preparatory school because she wanted to be able to help focus on inner city children and be able to get them to the level they need to be, because the school system was failing them, and the school system was not really teaching these kids how to really be able to think critically, but just how to pass and move on to the next grade. So this woman went from being a substitute teacher to being a person organizing her own system, her own school. I mean, she didn't receive a lot of money. She had little, but she was dedicated enough to do a lot. I mean, it's amazing. It's very amazing. But anyways, I just want to thank everyone that's tuning in, watching as usual, as always. So make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, share the channel, like the channel, hit the notification bell, all that great stuff. All right. And I will connect with you all later. All right. Make sure you check out my other videos on here, my previous videos. So lately I've been having issue with the sound, so I have to like go back and check and make sure the sounds is okay. So I'm working on upgrading on some things as far as like, you know, getting a better microphone and hopefully getting a better computer, etc. So that way everything can just be more organized, you know, and that way I ain't gotta keep going through sound this, sound that, checking the sound, etc., etc. All right. But outside of that, I appreciate for y'all tuning in for real and picking up whatever information y'all can pick up. So if you guys want to share this video, you're more than welcome to do so. If you like this video, go ahead, give it a like button. If you want to subscribe to the channel, please do that as well. If you want to have a conversation regarding to the subject matter or anything that's going on within, you know, Chicago, in the inner city, public housing, all of that, or whatever, do that. Okay. So this is something if y'all want to share with your peers, with your friends, with your family, or whoever you want to, or maybe something that you want to watch personally, the video is available. All right. So it's not going anywhere. But until then, have a good one. Be safe. And I would come back with you guys later. All right. So I'll come up with more topics and more information regarding to history, regarding to social issues, science, various subjects. All right. So I'll make sure I keep you guys posted. But be safe. Peace and power elevation be to all of you. This your girl Tiffany. And I'm logging off saying deuces. All right. All right then. Thank you.